Good morning, all. Today we discuss clamper circuits. In last class, we discussed negative clamper, biased negative clamper circuits. Now today we repeat positive clamper circuits, positive clamper, biased positive clamper circuit. Okay, the difference between the positive clamper and negative clamper is only the diode connection is different, right? In positive clamper, the diode symbol is upward direction. Here the arrow symbol is upward direction. This upward direction itself indicates that the output signal is transmitted to the above the zero axis. Right? The output signal is transmitted to the above the zero axis. Whereas in negative clamper, here the diode symbol is in downward. That means what it indicates means the signal is shifted to the below the zero axis in negative signal. Whereas in positive clamper, the signal is shifted to the above the zero axis. In negative clamper, the signal is shifted to the below the zero axis. Right? Okay, by observing the diode direction itself, we can say that the given circuit is a positive clamper or negative clamper. If the diode symbol is upward direction, that is positive clamper, output signal above the zero axis only. Right. Now coming to the analysis here, 0 to t by 2. Okay, here we consider the positive cycle. For entire positive cycle, diode D is off. For entire positive cycle, diode D is off. Now it is a open circuit. Now it is an open circuit, simply output follows the input. V naught is equal to Vi. V naught is equal to Vi. Why? Because it is a open circuit. Capacitor another terminal is not grounded. It is simply connected to the V naught terminal. Simply your output follows the input. During the positive cycle 0 to t by 2. Okay. During in negative cycle up to first quarter cycle. Okay, in negative, okay, t greater than t by 2. T greater than t by 2. Okay, this is somewhat here positive here, right? T greater than t by 2. What happened means here it is a negative. Now the diode D on. Why? Because this is the path here. Here the direction is, this is the plus direction and this is the minus direction. Now here the current flows to the capacitor and capacitor try to charges. And diode D on, when diode D on, output is equal to 0. Remember this one, right? During this cycle, where here, during this portion, I change my color. Okay, during this portion, diode D is in on, forward bias, capacitor try to charge with this polarity. This is the path and this is the minus and this is the plus. Now what happened means during this t by 2 to 3t by 4, diode D on output is equal to 0. Remember this one, right? Here the important observation is diode D on output is equal to 0 and capacitor charges to maximum input voltage. If maximum input is Vm, that is a peak input voltage Vm, now the capacitor is charged to Vm voltage during this quarter cycle only. Okay. Now t greater than 3t by 4, another quarter cycle. That means during this area. During this area, what happened means, here the already capacitor is capacitor Vc. Capacitor Vc already charges to Vm, right? Here the capacitor voltage is already charged to Vm. Okay. Now here the anode voltage is decreases here during this portion here. Anode voltage, that is input voltage, decreases. Already cathode voltage charges to Vm, so that the diode is off. When diode is off, apply KVL to this loop. Apply KVL to this loop. Vi second terminal, Vi plus Vc minus V naught is equal to 0. V naught is equal to Vi plus Vm. Okay. Vc is equal to Vm. During the first quarter cycle of the negative cycle, capacitor already charged to Vm voltage, where Vm is the input peak value. Here this is the Vm, this is Vm. Okay, or some other way like this we may written, right? Okay, this is the plus and this is minus. Apply KVL to this loop. If the polarities are, suppose this is plus and this is minus, now apply KVL, and V naught is equal to Vi minus Vc. Now here in this case, capacitor already charged to minus Vm. If this polarity is like this, plus and minus, capacitor is negative cycle, capacitor charges. How much voltage it will charge? Minus Vm. So substitute here, Vc is equal to minus Vm. Then finally V naught is equal to Vi plus Vm only. Or otherwise, uh, capacitor polarity is like this. This is minus terminal, this is plus terminal. Okay, in anyhow. So finally V naught is equal to Vi. Vi is the input signal plus Vc. Vc charged to Vm voltage. Now based on that, V naught is equal to Vi plus Vc. Vc is equal to Vm. V naught is equal to Vi plus Vm. Now different cases, Vi is equal to 0, Vi is equal to Vm, Vi is equal to minus Vm. When Vi is equal to 0, V naught is equal to Vm. That means when Vi is equal to 0 itself, output signal is started at Vm. So when Vi is equal to 0, output signal is started at Vm. Suppose consider here Vm is equal to 5 volts. So that output signal started at 5 volts. When input is reached to peak voltage, Vm voltage, when input is reached to peak voltage, Vm, Vi is equal to Vm, Vm plus Vm, 2 Vm. So that with respect to the 0 level, the output signal peak is 2 Vm. Then again, Vi is equal to minus Vm. Minus Vm and plus Vm get cancelled here at this point. When Vi is equal to minus Vm, so output signal is equal to 0. So like that, positive clamper shift to the complete output signal above the 0 axis. Here the important observation here is negative peak of input, negative peak of this input minus Vm, negative peak of input shifted to 0 volt, or other words, positive peak of input shifted to 2 Vm. Okay, positive clamper, also called an electronic circuit, which shift the positive peak of input signal to 2 Vm, or otherwise negative peak of input signal to 0 volts. Okay, in other words, positive clamper insert how much DC voltage here. How to calculate how much DC inserted here? First case, using first case. When Vi is equal to 0, what is V naught here? V naught is equal to Vm, that is equal to 5 volt. Okay, 5 volt is positive. That's why positive DC inserter, positive DC inserter, positive clamper inserts positive DC into the output waveform. Remember this one, right? Whereas negative clamper inserts negative DC into the output waveform, right? So this is about positive clamper. Here the important observation here is positive clamper inserts positive DC into the circuit. How much positive DC insert here? Plus 5 volts DC inserted in this case. And also positive peak shifted to 2 Vm, that is 10 volt. If input peak is 5 volt, output peak is 10 volt. Similarly, input negative peak is minus 5 volts, output negative peak is 0 volt. And important another observation is the shape remains same. Shape of the output signal same as shape of the input signal. If input is a sinusoidal, output also sinusoidal. If input is a square wave, output also square wave. The shape of the signal remains same, but only thing is DC level of input signal is shifted depending upon the clamper circuit. If it is a positive clamper, DC level shifted above the zero axis. If it is a negative clamper, DC level shifted below the zero axis. Okay. This is a in detail analysis of positive clamper here. Okay, during the positive cycle, I already explained this one. During this one, observe here blue line. During the positive cycle, here 0 to T1. Okay, what is the situation of the circuit here? This is the behavior of the circuit. Okay, during positive cycle, so the diode is open circuit. Okay, open circuit. Only capacitor second terminal is connected to the output. Left terminal is connected to the VIN. So it simply behaves like a short circuit. Output follows the input. Here, this is the output. Black line indicates the output. Output follows the input. Now observe here in negative cycle. In negative cycle, first quarter cycle only. Okay. During this, diode D1 on. Whenever diode D1 on, short circuit. That means capacitor second terminal is connected to ground. Now what is output? Short circuit voltage is equal to 0. So that here observe here black line, output is equal to 0. During this interval T1 to T2 here, capacitor charges to maximum voltage, peak voltage Vp or Vm, right? Okay. Next, in negative cycle, after first quarter cycle, okay, this area, input is decreasing. Input is decreasing. Already capacitor is charged to maximum voltage, so that diode D is in off state. Whenever diode D is in off state, the equivalent circuit is, this is the equivalent circuit, and capacitor polarity is left side minus, right side plus. Okay. Now, until unless input never change the amplitude, the diode never conducts remaining subsequent time cycles. Diode never conducts. Okay. Diode conducts only here negative cycle, first quarter cycle only. During this interval, capacitor charges to maximum voltage. Now, diode never conducts further cycles. Simply, the equivalent circuit is like this. This is the equivalent circuit here. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit. Okay, capacitor second terminal is connected to the output. Here the input signal, a capacitor left terminal is connected to the Pin. So simply here whatever the input change here, same change appear at the output here also same. Now onwards, simply output follows the input. But only the already here the DC level is changed here. Now here the signal started from 0. Now, so that the maximum peak voltage is 2 Vp or 2 Vm. Now coming to the another variety of clamper circuit is biased clamper. In biased positive clamper, biased positive clamper. The same clamper circuit, if the positive bias is added, 2 volts positive bias is connected to the anode terminal of the diode, right? Now Before that, here, now what is the capacitor, maximum capacitor can store in this case, right? Observe here, capacitor charges negative cycle only here, right? Now, capacitor right terminal is connected to the 2 volts when diode on. When diode on, capacitor positive terminal is at 2 volts. Capacitor negative terminal is minus 5 volts. Why minus 5 means capacitor charges only here in negative cycle only. Okay. Now always capacitor try to charge difference between the plates. Okay, here the positive plate is 2 volt, minus negative plate is minus 5 volt. Total charge of the capacitor is 7 volts, right? Okay, capacitor in this circuit, capacitor may charge 7 volts, maximum 7 volts. That means 7 volt DC inserted into the circuit, output circuit, right? Okay, this is the positive plate, negative plate. This is the reference voltage. In terms of reference, we can speak VR plus VM. Actually, VR minus Vm. So Vc is equal to VR plus Vm. This is the capacitor voltage. Remember, capacitor can charge maximum voltage, reference voltage plus peak voltage. If the reference voltage is 2 volts, if the peak voltage is 5 volts, 2 plus 5 is 7 volts. Now coming to the analysis here, consider the negative cycle. Negative cycle, capacitor can charge. So the diode D on, capacitor charge. Okay, now apply KVL to this loop. So VI, this is the loop. VI plus VR, second terminal. VI plus VR minus VC is equal to 0. Voltage across capacitor is equal to VI plus VR. VI is equal to Vm plus Vr. Already we discussed. Now what is output here in this case? Output is diode D short circuit, and the output is nothing but a reference voltage Vr. So when during negative cycle, that means during this negative cycle, what is the maximum peak of negative cycle? Minus Vm. When input is minus Vm, what is the output signal? Output signal is 2 volt. That is reference voltage 2 volts. Next, consider the positive cycle. During this positive cycle, diode D is off. Then you have to calculate the output voltage. Then apply KVL to this loop. Okay, this is the polarity. This is minus. This is plus. Why? Because capacitor charged in this direction. Now apply KVL to this loop. VI, second terminal, VI plus VC minus V naught is equal to 0. V naught is equal to VI plus VC. Now V naught is equal to VI plus VC. What is VC? Voltage across capacitor. Already we know that voltage across capacitor is equal to, during negative cycle we already calculated, Vm plus Vr. At maximum peak input voltage is 5 volts and reference voltage is 2 volts. Okay. Now apply the different cases here. When Vi is equal to 0, this is the expression. V naught expression is V naught is equal to Vi plus Vm plus Vr. Now Vi is equal to 0. Now Vm plus Vr, that is equal to 7 volts. Right? Next Vi is equal to 5 volts. Okay, only 3 cases. For any clamper circuit, only 3 cases. One is at 0 and second one is at 5 volt, whatever may be, 5 or 10 or whatever, peak, positive peak. And third case is minus 5 volt, right? When Vi is equal to 0, V naught is equal to 7 volt. When Vi is equal to 5 volt, V naught is equal to 12 volts. 5 plus 5 plus 2, that is equal to 12 volts. When Vi is equal to minus 5 volts, output is equal to 2 volts. Okay, based on this, draw the waveform. This is the waveform. What is the condition here? Truth table is when Vi is equal to 0, output is equal to 7 volt. Okay, this is the 7 volt. Next, when Vi is equal to 5 here, this is the 5 plus 7, output is equal to 12 volts. And Vi is equal to 5 volt, output is equal to 12 volt. When Vi is equal to minus 5 volt, output is equal to 2 volts. Okay, like that, draw the output signal, right? Okay, then how to draw the output signal is, first of all, calculate the DC level. What is the DC level here? How to calculate DC level? How much DC inserted here? When Vi is equal to 0, what is the output? 7 volt output. Draw the one line, 7 volt line. Draw one DC line. Why? Because this much of DC voltage inserted in the output waveform. How much? 7 volt. Now in this 7 volt, draw the signal, your input signal. 5 volt peak to peak and again 5 volt peak. Like that we have to draw the output waveform, right? The first thing is when Vi is equal to 0, output is equal to 7 volt. Draw this line, one DC line, output is equal to 7 volt. Okay, draw one DC line, that is the output is equal to 7 volt. Based on this reference or DC voltage, now we have to draw the sinusoidal signal. That's it. Now observe here peak level. This peak level is with reference to 0 voltage. How much voltage? 12 volts. Why? Because this is up to this one is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12 volts. Now here is negative voltage is 5 volt. Total voltage is 7. Now this negative peak shifted here is 2 volts. Okay, this is about biased positive clamper. Okay, here important observation here it is positive clamper always shift the signal above the 0 axis. Okay, depending upon the bias, if it is a positive bias. Okay, in so far in our clamper analysis, we are not considered the resistor, right? We analyze the positive clamper or negative clamper with only capacitor and diode. Okay, in some cases the people use resistor also, right? A resistor at the output terminal. Okay, then how to choose this resistor value is, there is a circuit time constant here. This is a R, this is a C. There is a circuit time constant. That circuit time constant RC very much greater than time period of input signal, right? Nearly 10 times, right? The people preferably is RC, the product of R into C is equal to 10 times greater than 10, worst case 10t, where capital T is the time period of input signal, where capital T is the time period of, this is the time period of input signal, right? Now whenever we choose the like this RC very much greater than T, then you will get output waveform same as capacitor diode circuit output waveform. That means with this large time constant, capacitor never discharge. Okay, almost discharge voltage is negligible. So that with capacitor, sorry, with resistor, without resistor, you will get the same output waveform. Okay. Okay, these are all the different clamper circuits here, but input signal is a square wave. I already explained that this is a negative clamper, biased negative clamper also explained with sine input. This also covered, this also covered. Okay, here in all important observation here is there is a resistor at the output side. Observe here output is same as with resistor, without resistor. then the condition is RC very much greater than time period, so that you will get with resistor, without resistor, same output, right? Okay. An important thing is here the input is square wave, output also square wave. In clamper circuit, the shape of the output remains same. If the sinusoidal input is, output also sinusoidal. If the square wave input, output also square wave. If it is a triangular wave, output also triangular wave. Only one small change here it is only DC level is shifted at the output waveform. Okay, here in this circuit also, here these two are the negative bias. What type of bias here? Not positive bias, negative bias. This is also negative bias. Okay, based on our four circuit analysis, try to analyze this circuit. You will get this type of waveforms, right? Okay. And one more important point here it is okay. Then what is the use of resistor in some applications here it is suppose this is the input signal. If suddenly input amplitude changes to like this, okay, in such cases, the resistor is used to discharge. It will provide the discharge path for capacitor. Whenever here the input signal, suppose up to this one is here it is here it is a 3 volts. Now it is shifted to 5 volts. Okay. Now here in this case what happened means, here in this case, here it is previously capacitor is charged to 3 volts. Now again when input changes to 5 volts during the first quarter cycle of the in this input signal, now again capacitor try to charge, again diode conducts, right? Okay, this will take some few cycles. Okay, at that time this resistor is used. And second one is suddenly here this one is input signal, suddenly this input is reduced like this. Previously it is something like a 4 volts, now it is something like a 2 volts, but clamper output peak to peak up to this one peak to peak is 8. Okay, that is a positive or negative. Now again it will shift it to 4. Okay, that means slowly this charge or voltage discharges through resistor. Okay, that is different analysis, right? Okay, so far in your syllabus only introduction to clamper circuits. Okay, this much of analysis is enough for you, right? Okay, this analysis is if input suddenly decreases or if input suddenly increases, how the behavior of the clamper circuit. At that time, the resistor is useful. For analyzing this type of circuits with resistor or without resistor, you will get the same output waveform unless input is constant. If input is constant with resistor, without resistor, you will get the same output waveform, right? That is about clamper circuits. Okay, there is a one more topic in second unit, that is the last topic, that is diode switching times. Okay, diode switching times. Already we know the operation of diode in detail, forward bias and reverse bias diode. But we are discussing in detail analysis of this switching times. Why? Because whenever so far we think that when diode is in forward bias, simply it will act as a short circuit. Simply it will act as a short circuit. When diode is in reverse bias, simply it behaves like a open circuit, right? Short circuit concept and open circuit concept. But in practical cases, what happen means the timing behavior is a transient behavior. The timing behavior is a transient behavior. That means not immediately happen. Not immediately happen. Whenever diode changing from observer here at T1, T is equal to T1, input suddenly changing from VF2 minus VR. VF2 minus VR. That means what it indicates here, it will shows that input suddenly change VF to VR. We think that diode also changed from forward to reverse bias immediately. But in practical case, the behavior is a transient behavior. It is not a immediate behavior. It is some time is taken to change from forward to reverse, similarly reverse to forward. That type of behavior is called the transient behavior. Okay, the nature of a diode changing from reverse bias to forward bias or forward bias to reverse bias, the behavior is a transient behavior. That means it cannot change immediately, reverse to forward or forward to reverse, right? To analyze the transient behavior of diodes, we analyze two switching times of a diode switching times. Two, there are mainly two types of switching times. One is forward recovery time, second one is reverse recovery time. What is meant by forward recovery time? Already diode operated in reverse bias. Suddenly we applied forward voltage to the diode, then it will enter into forward bias. But how much time it will take to enter from reverse into forward bias? Okay, all these timings are in terms of nanoseconds only, very, very small. But the behavior is a transient behavior, right? Okay. For accurate measurement analysis, we must consider the diode switching times, right? We must also consider this switching delay for accurate timing applications. Okay. Similarly, reverse recovery time. Reverse recovery time means already diode operated in forward bias. Now we have to move applied some negative voltage to the diode. Diode enter into reverse bias. Okay. But how much time it will take from forward to reverse bias? That time is called the reverse recovery time. Once again here, what is forward recovery time? Already diode operated in reverse bias. Suddenly we applied positive voltage, then it will enter into forward bias. But how much time it will take from reverse to forward bias? Similarly, reverse recovery time. Already diode operated in forward bias. Suddenly we applied positive negative voltage, then it will enter into reverse voltage, reverse bias. Then how much time it will take, right? Okay, these are called the forward recovery time, reverse recovery time. These two are called the diode switching times. Okay, now observe here, before entering into diode switching times in detail, now this is the open circuit diode. This is the anode, this is cathode, this is a p-type silicon, this is also n-type silicon. Okay, this is something like a concentration, majority concentration and minority concentration. Here n naught is electron concentration in n-type at equilibrium condition. This is a majority. Here red line indicates the majority. Similarly, black line indicates the minority carrier densities at equilibrium condition. Here O indicates at equilibrium condition, that is open circuited. Why here electron concentration here high compared to the whole concentration mean here there is a concentration of n-type. Okay, the doping level of n-type greater than the doping level of p-type. Okay, that is the reason, right? Now here P naught means hole concentration in n-type material at equilibrium condition. Similarly in P-type majority carriers are holes. This is P naught, PP naught. Okay, hole concentration in P-type at equilibrium condition. Here N means electron concentration at P-type material at equilibrium conditions. Okay, this is at the junction. Okay, this is not, this is indicates away from the junction, not positive junction or negative junction. These two are all same. Simply that is the away from the junction. Okay, this is the forward bias connection here. Positive terminal is connected to the P type, negative terminal is connected to the N type. And here the what is forward bias condition here is anode greater than cathode. Then these are at the charge distribution. What happened means here this N naught move this side, this PP naught move this side. Diffusion. Due to diffusion, what happened means here whenever this majority carriers enter into P side, suppose Nn naught enter into P side, it behaves like a minority carriers. Similarly, this PP naught enter into N side, it behaves like a minority carriers. Why? Because once again here these are the electrons are the majority carriers in N type. Whenever we apply some positive voltage here, now this will be moved into diffuse into this side. Okay, here in P side, these electrons act as a minority carriers. Similarly, PP naught, majority carriers in P type, and they diffuse during forward bias. They diffuse into N side. In N side, their behavior is a minority carrier behavior. So, this is the minority carrier distribution when diode is in forward bias. Okay, observe here the charge. Here the charge is Pn minus Pn naught. So this is the Pn naught. This is the Pn level. Okay, this is the graph here. Okay, here this one is the maximum Pn. Pn minus Pn naught is the excess minority charge carriers. Similarly here Np minus Np naught. Here Np means first letter indicates the type of hole or electron. Electron in P type minus electron in P type at equilibrium condition. Okay, here there is a charge. This charge, okay, here this is the charge, right? Here Np minus Np naught. This is the charge. Electron charge or hole charge. Here this one is the minority carriers in another side. That's why the minority carrier density distribution as a function of distance of x from the junction of a forward bias. Okay, the injected are excess hole or electron density. Okay, excess hole density Pn minus Pn naught or excess electron density Np minus Np naught. This is the charge. Remember this one. This is the charge here. This is the charge. Hole charge Pn minus Pn naught. Similarly, this is the electron charge Np minus Np naught. Why these are all got the minority in other side during forward bias? They cross the junction. Okay, diffuse exponentially diffusion both sides. Okay, this is the minority carrier density distribution when diode is in forward bias. Similarly, when diode is in reverse bias, okay, this is the reverse bias, negative terminal connected to the P type and positive terminal is connected to the N type. Okay, anyhow, anode less than cathode. Now here in this case, what happened means, diode is in reverse bias. Ideally, zero current flows through the junction. But this negative bias act as a forward bias to the minority carriers. In P type, what are the minority carrier here? Electrons are the minority carriers. In N type, what are the minority carriers? Holes are the minority carriers. Okay, this bias act as a forward bias to this minority carriers. This minority carriers cross the junction. Okay, due to this very small amount of current flows to the junction. For silicon, it is around a nanoampere current. For germanium, around it is a microampere current flows through the junction. Very small. Now here the minority carrier distribution is. Okay, at the junction there is no carriers. No carriers are present at the junction. They simply move away from the junction here. Move away from the junction. Okay, they cross the junction here and they will reach that equilibrium condition. They reach at equilibrium condition. They reach at equilibrium condition. Okay, at the junction, there is no charge carriers, remember here. Okay. Now here finally, okay, this is about the forward bias. This is about forward bias minority carrier distribution. This is at equilibrium condition. This is at equilibrium condition. This is at reverse bias condition. This is at reverse bias condition, right? So whenever a diode changing from forward to reverse or reverse to forward, okay, whenever a diode changing from forward to reverse or reverse to forward, this minority carrier distribution must be replaced, right? Suppose already diode operated in forward bias, suddenly we apply a reverse voltage, it will enter into reverse bias. That means the minority carrier distribution, this can be replaced with this. Similarly, suppose the diode already operated in reverse bias, suddenly we applied a forward bias, this minority carrier distribution is replaced with like this. In between, it will enter into equilibrium state. This come to equilibrium to forward. So it will take a certain time to change from forward to reverse to forward voltage, right? Reverse to forward, forward to reverse bias. Okay. Now coming to the diode forward bias. Okay, diode forward recovery time. Observe here. When a diode is driven from reverse condition to the forward condition or in the opposite direction, the diode response is accompanied by a transient response. The diode response is not a steady state response. The diode response is a transient response. And coming to the forward recovery time, forward recovery transient mainly depends upon magnitude of current being driven to the diode and the rise time of the driving signal, right? Here the forward recovery time mainly depends upon the applied magnitude of the current and as well as rise time of the current signal. Okay, now this is the current. Now let us say this is the current is applied to the diode. Now here there are the two responses, one is B, another one is C. B type of response is obtained when the amplitude of the current is sufficient and large rise time. Observe here, the B response is, okay, it is not given. B response is this type of overshoot and this type of response is observed when the current signal amplitude is enough and also rise time is, sorry, small rise time. Okay, this is the small rise time. This is small rise time and enough amplitude of current signal. This type of waveform is resulted across the diode voltage. There is some overshoot. There is some overshoot here. Okay, this is due to the overdriven of diode. Similarly, this type of response is observed at diode. Okay, it is a large, okay, large rise time. Large rise time. Okay, rise time should be small. Remember this one. For any system or circuit, rise time should be small. Okay, if the rise time is small, the response also small. It will take a very small time interval. Here rise time is large and amplitude also not sufficient. Then the voltage across diode result very slowly increases. But whereas in this case, immediately it will increases. Okay, observe here. Observe these two waveforms. These two are the diode voltages. These two are the diode voltages for input signal, this one. If input signal amplitude is large and small rise time, you will get this type of response. What is the condition? Sufficient amplitude, small rise time. For this one, not sufficient amplitude, slow rise time or large rise time. The voltage across diode slowly increases. Here it will be immediately increases. That means the speed of a diode in this case is very low. Here in this case is very high. Voltage across the diode immediately reaches here, but here in this case slowly reaches. Now these are all some experimental results here. Diode forward recovery time and around typically this is around 80 nanoseconds. Diode forward recovery time 80 nanoseconds, whereas diode reverse recovery time 300 nanoseconds. Right? Okay, this is about somewhat typical for different amplitude of current signals. Observe here. First one 200 milliamperes. This is 100 milli. This is 50 milliampere circuits. So that the response is different for different current input signals. Anyhow, the typical value of diode forward recovery time is 80 nanoseconds. Reverse recovery time is 300 nanoseconds. And coming to the diode reverse recovery time. Okay, so this is important. Why? Because this one is large compared to forward recovery time. Now this is input signal here. Now we observe here second. Okay. Now this is the forward voltage enough to keep the diode is in forward voltage, and whereas the negative voltage to keep the diode is in reverse bias. Okay, whenever diode already operated in forward bias between 0 to T1, there is a large minority carriers present at the junction, right? And corresponding current Vf by R, right? And the diode voltage, this is the diode voltage. Okay, now at T is equal to T1, suddenly we apply a negative voltage. Suddenly we apply negative voltage forward to reverse. Okay, reverse recovery time. Now what happened means the minority carrier distribution slowly decreases. Okay, but the current is equal to reverse immediately. Current amplitude is reverse immediately. But here the minority carrier distribution is slowly decreasing. Why? Because here the input is negative input voltage. Okay, until that minority carrier distribution is zero, the voltage across diode it will show something like a small positive voltage. Once it will reaches the zero, below zero, then again it will come down to reverse magnetic carrier distribution like that. Now slowly current also decreases. Here the voltage also slowly decreases to like this. So here there are two different times are there. One is the storage time and another one is the transient time. Storage time is the minimum time required for the minority carrier concentration to decrease exponentially and it will be reaches to 0. And transition time, it is the minimum time required for the current to decrease from minus IR to 0 level. Okay. Now total reverse recovery time is equal to storage time plus transition time. Reverse recovery time is equal to storage time plus transition time. Okay. Okay, this is the last slide. Observe here. This is the reverse recovery time. for different current 400, 200, 100 and 50, right? If it is a 50, reverse recovery time that much. If it is a 400, reverse recovery time is that much, right? That means reverse recovery time mainly depends upon the current signal. And the coming to this graph, this is also reverse recovery time. Okay, here the current is equal to fixed 200 milliamperes, but different voltages. Here the reverse voltage 20, reverse voltage 10, and reverse voltage 6. But reverse recovery time still it is a same. That means reverse recovery time mainly depends upon the current signal, not depends upon voltage. Okay, this is about the forward recovery time and reverse recovery time of a diodes.